What do you do when you want your ex back and you know that the reason they're not with you is because you're the one that messed up? How do you deal with the guilt, the pain, and worse yet, wanting them back? What steps do you take? Is it possible to get them back? Hey there, it's Susan Winter. So happy to have you join me today. This is a pertinent discussion. I have worked with so many clients to get their ex back, and there's a protocol, there is a way to do it, but the pain, the guilt, the fear, the intrepidation of being the one when it's your fault is doubly difficult in making this a doable thing. So let me break it down for you today. Let me give you some hope and let me give you some options that maybe you did not consider. I've got about 10 points to discuss with you today, so bear with me because there's a lot here. So you want your ex back and you know you messed up, okay? Firstly, I need you to be really, really honest with yourself, okay? Really honest with yourself. What did you do? Maybe the more important question is, what did you not do? What did you not do? Did you hear them saying something like, you never listened to me, you criticized me, and you're just like, oh, whatever, whatever? Did you not show up fully as a partner? There's no way you can begin the process of setting the opportunity to have a second chance if you don't know what you did that created this reaction. Breakups don't happen for no reason. They are the end result and the consequence of actions taken or not taken. So one, be brutally honest with yourself. This isn't to beat you up, make you bad, guilty, wrong. Okay, you are responsible, but you're human. And if you want them back, that's a good thing. If you want them back in earnest, that's even better. And that should be the only thing that you're thinking about right now. So be honest with yourself. Firstly, and write it down. Get very, very clear on what you did, what you didn't do. If you don't know, and they just broke up with you, maybe this isn't a person you want to get back with. What did you have with them? Were they just like in it for the minute? It's not always about you, but this discussion is for those of you who absolutely know it was me. I was always prioritizing work over them. You know, they were so agreeable. They were so nice. They never complained. I I just thought I could do a few more hours at the office, or I could maybe hang out with my buds a little bit longer. I could go away with the girls and not see them for the third weekend in the row. And I could not make time to listen to them because, you know, they just seemed like really cool and chill until they weren't. So if we review where we were insensitive, inconsiderate, maybe impatient, critical, any of these qualities, be brutally honest with yourself. That's one. Write these things down. You'll need them. I'm telling you, I know it sounds so old school, but I'm begging you, please, for yourself. It helps you to organize it. And there is a lot of research about handwriting, that we see it, we do the manual work to write, and then our brain sees it and we remember it. So write down what you did that you know you could have been better. Then I want you to write down what you didn't do that you knew you could have. You just, you know, you took them for granted, whatever. You thought you could get away with it. And then in another column, I want you to write out what they said the problem was, okay? Because sometimes they're not the same. You can never get back with a person unless you attend to what they say the problem was for them. This conversation is simply to get you positioned. Because I'm not working with you one-on-one like I am with a client, I don't know that what they're asking of you is reasonable. Let's just do the work and we can figure it out. Okay, number two, so now you've been honest with yourself. If you have not yet apologized, do so. This doesn't need to be a groveling on your knees. Please don't. Get very, very clear with what you have learned and be very clear about how you're going to state it and be real. Just be humble. I messed up. I realized that I did this, this, and this. That's from your list. And I was insensitive. Times I was impatient. I didn't listen to you. I didn't know how much it meant to you to have me attend that function. I just didn't get it. I was in my head. Now, you're going to want to defend yourself. Take it from me, who's helped many people go through this. Don't defend. Admit, acknowledge it, and take the responsibility. Short, brief. If you need help with that, listen, below you can find all my information. Go to susanwinter.net. You can find how to get a hold of me. I can help you phrase it. But this is what you do next. You just make that apology, okay? Now, when you acknowledge your actions, if you do want them back, you have to change your behavior. Only you know. Were you really taking them for granted? And do you now see that you really messed up? Then you got to change that. And not just to get them back. You got to change it because you really, really, really want to change it. You see, you can't get your ex back by saying, I see this. Now let's go. We're good, right? No. You have to start from the bottom and prove yourself all over again. You have to court them. You have to win them back. You have to have time. I know you don't want to hear that. You've got to give it time so that the time itself and the consistency of this new behavior proves to your ex that you are indeed different. Remember, in a breakup, they do not want what they left. They don't. So you can't just be, I'm the person that left you, same person just now saying, I'm sorry. Not going to work. It's not really going to work. And worse yet, you'll end up in the same situation because you did not change. You did not change your headset. You didn't change your mindset. You didn't change your behavior. So if you want them back, I want you to really look at what they said the fault was and think about it. I could be more patient. It might serve me well. Let me take a look at that. This ultimately is for your benefit. You don't want to go back. There's no reason to go back. Even if you know you messed up, if you don't intend to correct your behavior, then don't. Just don't. It isn't about winning them back because you want them. Get your ego out of this. This is about, I am having a reset. I see something. I can be a better version of myself. This should be a good moment for you, not a sad moment. So please don't let guilt and, mentally beating yourself up and emotionally like, oh, I'm not a good person. Please, that is unnecessary. And not only that, it's unproductive. So you do not want that in your way. So that's what you do here. You admit, you acknowledge, you amend. All right? Admit, acknowledge, amend, and you actually change your behavior. And time is going to be the proof that this is real. And your partner will find out. It's not like you don't know mutual people, okay? They will find out. You're not going to tailor or craft a way for them to see it. You're going to do your business. You are going to be diligent to correct these things that are going to make you a better person. Absolutely. And a better partner for them. So again, if they start to contest and in your apology, they really start to come after you, you're going to want to defend yourself. Don't. The best way to stop that is to say, you're right. You're right. I wasn't always sensitive. I didn't know that. I literally did not know that. I'm not playing you now, not playing you then. I see that now. And I'm actually appreciative. In a strange way, I'm appreciative. I'm sorry for the pain. It's caused both of us, but I am appreciative that I see that now and that you brought this to my attention. Only now can I make the correction. You see, you don't push against them. That's not going to help you. You go with them, right? They're not going to keep attacking you because you see, all right? And you don't let them continue to spank you or be like this because you've done what you needed to do. You've apologized and you're in the process of correcting, okay? You can even say this was my wake-up call. And for that, that's amazing. And I'm grateful. Now, you have to change. Not just say you're going to change. And the reason I say this is that I think I had one of the most difficult clients I've ever had. Now, I've helped many people get back with their ex. And it's not an overnight process. It can take 3 to 4 months to go from being blocked to back in the bedroom. And there's an exact protocol every step of the way. There's a way to handle yourself and not. And we're in constant communication. But here's the thing. When you find the root cause of what this thing is, you have to change. And I know I was working with a man and he was so difficult. And he had been continually and chronically unfaithful to his fiancée. And when she finally caught wind of it, I was like, wow, what allowed that? And we finally isolated the fact that not something he wanted to admit, but it was always fueled by alcohol. Now, I said to him point blank, if you want her back, and all this was related to being in a semi-blackout, are you willing to give up drinking? It's a big ask, but this is what you want. So that's the price. Otherwise, we have no assurance it won't happen again. So that was a condition. And not only was it consistent, it proved to be successful. I'm not saying you have to do anything that serious, but if you need to take an anger management course, take it. If you need to take a communication course, take it. If you need to go into therapy, go to therapy, because this is the proof that can win you the partnership again. Now, the last thing I have to say, the last couple of things, I got to ask you, do you really, really want them back? You messed up the first time. At some point, you really need to ask yourself, do I want them back because I want to win what I didn't have? Or was there another reason that I actually sabotaged this relationship? And if you're this far into listening to this discussion, it might not apply, but it is the first thing I ask anybody. Didn't come out of nowhere, so check yourself, right? And the very last thing I have to say is that you can utilize this time apart, and I do suggest you stay apart in the beginning, to prove yourself and to focus on yourself and to become the better version of yourself. Again, there's no time for self-flagellation. You do not need to do that. You need to acknowledge what happened, take responsibility, and amend your behavior. And so many times the ex that would not talk to you comes around, but not to the old you, to the better and new you. And if you need help doing this, I urge you, take a look at the website, susanwinter.net, and see the times I'm available. Let's do this thing and let's get you sorted and back in your strength, your confidence, and en route to becoming the better you. Thank you, everyone. Susan Winter for susanwinter.net. Take care now.